Hello, hello. I am also tired. We're not alone in that, Evo. I am also tired, and my head hurts. Even though I slept all day yesterday. Still tired. Hell, I slept all day for the past, like, couple days, and I'm just like, no, I need more sleep. Apparently, I just need to, like, hibernate or something. That's what my body wants to do. Oh god! I always forget how loud this is in my headphones.
Danganronpa.
Alright. There you go. Where were we? We got set off on our own for the investigation. That's right. Anyway, yesterday, during the day, my dad noticed a tow truck pull up in the driveway. And the tow truck was towing away the neighbor's car, the loud car. So we think it probably got repossessed, which is hilarious. And maybe we don't have to deal with a loud ass car anymore. Alright, I need to get a tissue. Oh my god. It's hysterical. I'm looking outside right now, it is gone. Because they have stuff in their garage. So they don't actually, like, use their garage for their cars. It's just like, nope. There's no, is it a kid? No. It's like a grown man.
Da 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 da!
Ding ding ding! Ifumi has discovered evidence revealing the identity of the culprit.
I feel as if...
Another stat increase for me. Evidence? What did you find? Cannot reveal that just yet. What?
That's it! I'm sure of it!
I guarantee what I found will steal the killer's breath from his lungs. Sure about that? Yeah. Miss Lunenburg said she'd witnessed something worthwhile too. Wait, what did she see?
Well,
She
it
refused
would
to tell me.
seem-
It's like when a girl bullies the boy she likes, right? Right? So where's Celeste now? Warehouse by the dorms. She was there, but at the same time, not there. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Alright, let's actually take a look at the body and take note of this poster. Bloodstained poster. Blood is the most noteworthy part, but the big-breasted swimsuit model's pretty noticeable too. Girls' locker room doesn't seem like the kind of place you'd find something like this. Is that not going to become a proof bullet? Should be. We have the big blood stain on the dumbbell on the floor. Monokuma file said that a fatal injury was caused by a blow to the head. Dumbbell has to be the murder weapon. Blood stain on the carpet could only have been caused by Chihiro's murder. Word bloodlust is written on the wall in blood. Just like in all those other genocide cases. For crime scene, the word bloodlust is written in the victim's own blood. How many times are we gonna say the word bloodlust is written in the victim's own blood? I feel the life draining out of my own body. It's a dead body. Yep, sure is. Chihiro's dead body. Kyoko. Made any progress on your investigation?
Indeed.
Generally speaking.
However,
I have to get going. Something unrelated to take care of. Besides the investigation? What is it?
well,
You need to worry about. Just concentrate on the murder. But
so then,
before I go, let me give you one piece of advice. You should examine Chihiro's body one more time, thoroughly. Also, her handbook is missing. Might want to determine its whereabouts.
goodbye.
That I'll be praying for your success. That Kyoko turned and left the girls' locker. Take another look at the body. Yeah, okay, so now we're gonna take an actual look at the body. Chihiro's handbook is missing? That's definitely worth worrying about. Like 7:30. How are you tired then? You had so much sleep. Kyoko said I should examine the body one more time. Oh god, I'm gonna sneeze. Allergies. Fun times. Well, she said thoroughly, but I do have my limits. Better give it a shot anyway. Chihiro's hands are bound with what looks like some kind of rope. About 8 hours of sleep, man. Then why are you tired? Rope was used to prop her up in a kind of crucifix position. Huh? This rope has a plug? Wait, so then this isn't a rope at all. The more I think about it, the more that's not the only thing that concerns me. Chihiro's fatal injury was a blow to the head, which means someone struck her in the head or to kill her. That's right. It's the issue of her being suspended and the fatal blow. You 14, I mean, same. First, I didn't see any reason to think too much about either of them. Seeing them again after looking through the Genocide Jack file, something's not quite right. Let's see, the victim suffered multiple stab wounds, inflicted with scissors, and scissors were used to attach the victim to the wall. Yeah, something's definitely not quite right here. It's all mean. What does it mean? Well, the one thing most likely to tie all these mysteries together. The true nature of the rope that was used to suspend Chihiro. You mean like, it looks suspiciously like the extension cord that was in the library. Oh look! And to figure that out, there's a certain place I need to revisit and look over again. Plus it might help to look at the Genocide Jack case file one more. Had a real complex about being weak. Oh, he's saying the same thing that he did. Hello! Gamma Tech, thank you for the follow.
Damn.
Chihiro's presence here was especially weak. Her body...
No forgiveness!
Targets such a helpless being, it's unforgivable. A wretched beast to do such a thing. I cannot forgive this. Sure. Oh, you're gonna make me stay here until I discover everything. Oh yeah, we need to go into the boys' locker room. That's right, because we weren't allowed to go in there before. It's a strange stain on the carpet. What is it? Huh? This poster. It's a popular boy band called Tornado. Somehow it doesn't quite seem to fit in the boys' locker room. Wait, reminds me, the poster in the other locker room is That's right, there's definitely something strange about this. Boys' locker room, there's a poster of a popular boy band. Girls' locker room, there's a poster of a big-breasted swimsuit model. Posters have been switched? But if they were, why? What reason would anyone? Should talk to someone who knows a little more about the locker rooms. I think that's everything here. Oh. Anybody in here? No, that's just the stuff that we looked at before. We already looked at the monitor and the camera. Is that a real gun? Okay. Let's ask somebody who knows. Spent a lot of time exercising in the girls' locker room, right, Sakura?
Of course.
Used it nearly every day since it opened up. Sometimes Hina and I used it together. Hey then, let me ask you something. Do you think the posters in the boys' and girls' locker rooms could have been switched?
I'm sorry.
Sorry, can't really say. Never really paid any attention to the posters. See,
However,
there is something that's been bothering me about the locker room. See, I like to drink a little protein coffee every time I finish exercising. Have protein coffee? Take the last week of the year off? That sounds good. Warehouse. Not the highest quality, but I don't have a lot of other options. Mix protein powder with coffee and down a glass of it after exercising. Anyway, the other day I spilled some on a carpet in the girls' locker room and left a stain. Stain? I don't see any stain on the carpet now.
of course.
Exactly. Noticed it earlier. The stain has disappeared. Only assume someone came along and cleaned it up. Still, isn't it unusually clean? As if there was never a stain here to begin with. So I guess the stain's in the other room. Okay, that was everything here. Let's go to the library. Oh! Presidential assassination. That's really intriguing, but if it means I become a target, nope, I'll leave it where it is. Thank you very much. That's not what I wanted to look at. I wanted to look at the box. The extension cord. Extension cord was in here before. Yeah. Isn't that not what you wanted to look at, sir? Oh, it's gone. Did someone take it out of the archive? The only one who would do something like that. Of anyone but Byakuya. Desk lamp. Actually, I'll grab that one thing over here and put it over there. It's dark over there. No, I didn't want to look there. Maybe there's some kind of clue here. I guess not. Lamp won't turn on. Oh. See, it's not plugged in. lamp's cord isn't long enough to reach the outlet from here. The last time I saw it, it was definitely on, and it was definitely right here. That's right. Byakuya was using an extension cord. There's no extension cord here now. Wonder where the extension cord went. Oh. Fourth off. Well, I see. Yeah, in that case, it's like you might as well just take the rest of that week off. Oh, is there does that mean there's still stuff to look at? No, because we've been through the other areas. Okay, we need to go to the warehouse and then oh god, don't sleep. Oh. Anything insightful to say, Taka? We should have confessed our embarrassing secrets after all. Damn it! Sorry, Chihiro, it's all because I wasn't strong enough. Okay, that was real insightful, thank you. Oh, Hina, how's Toko doing? Same as before, she won't come out, and she just keeps on mumbling something about Genocide Jack. So I just left her there. You left her? Head was all sweaty, and I was getting pretty hungry.
Yeah.
Oh, but don't worry, I'm gonna head back as soon as I'm done eating. Toko's not exactly pleasant, but I'm still worried about her. You know which, what are you eating?
Huh?
A donut, of course! Of course. There's two things I'm sure God created, outer space and donuts. Really? Bet Chihiro would have liked to eat more donuts. Yeah, that was her one big regret. Should have tried to spend more time with her. Think of it, who did she spend time with?
Well...
Yeah, she was a little bit strange. Didn't really hang out with the other girls much. It was like she was trying to keep her distance from us. Actually, Sakura said something similar. She said that even though you and her invited Chihiro to exercise with you, she always refused.
Yeah, totally.
Yep, it's true, and it wasn't just us either. It's like she stayed away from all the girls. Was she just shy? No. She talked to the boys all the time. Isn't it kind of weird to be shy around your own sex, but totally fine with the opposite sex? Oh wait, maybe she was used to the guy spoiling her. Law says you can't judge a book by its cover, right? Think so. Never really saw her as that kind of girl. Don't remember actually being in here ever. The fridge Sayaka mentioned? See anything? Have I ever been in here? I don't think I have. This camera. Oh, yep. All different kinds of food stacked up. But worthy. Kinds of stuff piled up everywhere. Towels, jackets, looks like they put together a good collection of school equipment. The class trial will conveniently start when we get all the evidence. Celeste, what are you doing here? The house is amazing. There's absolutely everything one might need to live a full life. Food to clothes to towels, there's an endless supply to choose from. See that, but have you found anything related to the case?
Most unfortunate.
We were going to ask you. Thought talking about the warehouse itself might misdirect you, but it was pointless. You did find something? Very well. I'll tell you and only you.
Actually,
Last night I saw her here. Chihiro was in the warehouse. What? Really?
indeed.
This was right before nighttime.
Hmm? What are you doing out this late?
Oh, I was just...
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I was just, you know, with the whole hate raid thing that's been going on, like, just try and keep myself safe. You know how it is. But yeah, spoilers. I mean, the spoilers wouldn't really matter too much for me because I kind of already know. This is my first time playing the game, but I kind of already know what happens. But just about everybody else that's been watching in chat does not know what's happening, so... Honestly, that's the fun part of playing this game. Actually, like playing this game for the first time is that nobody else knows what's going on.
Are you planning to go exercise, perhaps?
What? How did you know?
How did we know? It's not like you're carrying like a freaking duffel bag around or anything.
Because I can see a blue track jacket sticking out of that duffel bag you're carrying.
Oh, you're right. Thanks.
Right? Yep. Exactly. That's kind of the whole point. It's like where a bunch of bots or people come in and spew a bunch of hate, and then they get those streamers banned for that, because us streamers are technically responsible for our own chat. So if somebody starts coming in and spewing hateful things, then we're responsible for that.
Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Finished. Wow. This game is the only one. This game is the only one that I really know the story behind. The second and third games I don't know much about. She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It's almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
Yes, indeed.
I assumed she was merely stocking up to go exercise in the morning, but it appears she ignored the nighttime rule and headed directly to the girls' locker room. If she hadn't broken our rule, none of this would ever have happened. Get what you deserve, I suppose. Whoa. So apparently, she went to the girls' locker room late at night in order to exercise without anyone knowing. Strange thing is, there's no trace of the track jacket or duffel bag Celeste said she saw Chihiro carrying. Which means the killer would have gotten rid of it somehow. Oh. Time's up.
So, I'm getting tired of waiting. Shall we just plunge right in? It's the moment you've all been waiting for! The class trial! You remember where to meet, right?
High-tech Build-A-Bear reject?
Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school.
That's a great way to put it.
See you soon!
In the class trial, or it's about to begin? Yeah. Red door is right through here. Yep. Go get snacks. Yeah, go get good snacks. Is everyone ready too? What? Am I blind, or are we missing someone?
Yo.
Yeah. Toko's not here.
Huh?
And Toko is... You really don't remember?
Come on!
Kidding, I'm just kidding. How could I forget that little nut job? She's a crucial part of the class trial this time.
What are you gonna do?
Okay. Okie dokie, I'll go ahead and drag her out here kicking and screaming. Just one moment, please. Oh. Just like he said a few minutes later. Reappeared, dragging Toko behind him. Told him I didn't want to, but he forced me. I can't believe you would drag a girl around. Terrible! You're terrible!
Phew.
Oh, now everyone's here, right? Okay then, hustle on to the elevator, let's get this show on the road! See you guys down there.
Let's go.
Shall we get going? Time to figure out who killed Chihiro. Chihiro Fujisaki. She was so gentle, so calm and meek. Nobody had any problems with her. Someone made the choice to kill a girl like that. That murderer is one of us. Someone standing right here. Ready? You doing this?
Well then.
Cover the villain who performed such heinous acts on a weaker individual. Don't know why the killer did what they did, but I'm sure it'll work itself out. Justice always prevails, right, bro? Bro?
Shall we go?
Shall we begin?
How very sad.
What'd you say? Must admit, for being 3D, she was quite remarkable. Of course, just the idea of 3D makes me cringe.
Hey, come on.
Fucking Toko, man. It's got her so worked up. Something odd about Toko's behavior. I think mere shock is enough to explain it. So I wasn't much help at all on this one. Plenty to work with. Show us how far your logic can take you. Yeah, but we still had to go back and find out everything else. You have no choice, right? You have to do this.
It's true.
Yes. I gave a small nod in reply. One last deep breath, I walked toward the elevator on shaky legs. Each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. Couldn't get a handle on my emotions, couldn't stop speculating. Steel box sank with heavy clunking sounds deeper and deeper into the ground. Is it just me, or is Mondo's hair, like, shaking? With the elevator. Because that's kind of funny. Went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. Top suspect? I already know who did it, so I can't say. Elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation. Finally. Ding! To a sudden stop. Yeah, I watched the anime, and I also, when the people were translating it when it first came out, and I read the translation for it, so, for this game. You think? Redecorated, isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting? Waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with.
Very nice.
Good, you're rip-raring to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all.
Well?
Hey then, let's get this show on the road.
Thrills, chills, kills!
Everyone, please find your assigned seats. So the curtain opened once again. Only one. There's other animes? I didn't know there was. I only knew that there was the one. Damn. Judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. 3 in total, wow. Deadly riddle, deadly defense, deadly faith, deadly. Take a shot. So our class trial begins again. Why was Chihiro murdered? The killer hiding within the group? Is there any help to be found in this series of murders? 25, short half hour after this thing. I don't have any other skills, I just have... Okay.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
The prequel because a sequel. Wow, this is getting about as convoluted as Kingdom Hearts is, huh? Though I don't think anything will ever be as convoluted as the Kingdom Hearts series.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the Blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
I will play Kingdom Hearts eventually. I believe Kingdom Hearts is gonna move to Steam eventually. And when it does, I will get it, and I will play that series, because I love that series.
Okay then. So, first off...
But that's not gonna be until, like, probably sometime next year.
Let's talk about the murder weapon!
Oh boy! So we have to make clear what was used to deliver fatal blow. Locker room dumbbell.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
No, that's wrong.
It's wrong! It's not an iron pipe! Dumbass.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell? Found at the scene of the crime?
Scene of the crime? Oh yeah, I went and looked up the voice actors for everybody, and because I recognized a couple of these, and a couple of these voice actors are also in Genshin, so I think it was Mondo's Zhang Li, and then oh fuck, somebody was Venti. forgot who was Venti, but somebody's Venti. But yeah. Makoto's like everywhere, yeah.
It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
Because I was like, man, Mondo really sounds like Zhongli from Genshin. And it's just like, oh, yep, same voice actor.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yep.
Yay! That's so creepy!
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
Shut up, Byakuya.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Genocide Jack, fiendish serial killer. He really killed Chihiro? No. New element. What? Oh, okay. For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. There's a way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Press the A button to attach the silencer, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. Or if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease, so take careful aim. Have your silencer out. Oh! But if your action difficulty is set to gentle, which it's not, white noise won't appear at all. We're in the middle difficulty, whatever that is, I forgot. In which case, you can forget about the silencer and just focus on the situation. Well, good luck and have fun!
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Hey, so, speaking of Genocide Jack, I don't know who that is!
Oh my god, I'm glad that I sat till the end of that. I don't know who that is! It's the silencer to just spam shooting Byakuya in the head! I think Byakuya showed me in the archive. One look at that and anyone would be convinced. It shows that this was the work of Genocide
The culprit
Jack.
is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Fuck! I got...
Hey, so, speaking of Genocide Jack, I don't know who that is!
Fuck, okay. I'm really bad at shooting. It's fine.
The culprit is Genocide Jack.
I'm case closed.
But that's impossible!
Why?
Hearing their
What makes it
chipmunk voices is
impossible?
cracking
Well,
me
I
up!
mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Oh my god. I'm entirely too amused to focus.
I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth, so let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
I mean, there's more than just two.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
it's actually bloodlust.
Oh my god.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
Oh, you're gonna make me tell them. No characteristic of every genocide Jack case which the world at large doesn't know. If I'm not mistaken, it has to do with the, yeah, that's how the victim
I
was
got it!
positioned.
Apparently, in every genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain
Someone
way.
has boobless as a sound redeem? That's fantastic, actually. I love that.
Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
You lie!
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever,
Bloodophobia?
remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle? Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
Riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. It means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also not to not be Toko. The answer is that it's not just one person, but multiple people, right? What? Terrible at word games. What's that supposed to be spelling? My god, am I dumb? What is this? At least I can pause it while I try to figure it out. Surprised the game lets me do that. This one is really weird. Is it really obscure? Because like so yeah, Toko has the second identity or whatever. But like, what word is this supposed to be? Or it just says hi in the middle. I'm really bad with these kinds of games. Dude, what kind of word even is spelled like that? What word is even spelled like that? I can't even think of like any words at all. Yeah. Because otherwise I'm just gonna look it up because I really, like, I have no idea. Really? I never would have guessed that in a million years. That's so weird. Oh. that is pretty awful, because that's not even what that means.
Now I understand.
Schizophrenia is something entirely different.
Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
That makes 0 sense! What the fuck? Yeah! You're talking about... supposed to be talking about DID, but you're talking about schizophrenia, which is something entirely different. I mean, oh my god. Just even having the whole mental illness tied to a serial killer thing in the first place bugs me, but then you have this. It's just dumb.
I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
This is not even how DID works, to my knowledge.
But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
That shows Toko could have a split personality. Behavior changed?
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
Makes absolutely 0 sense.
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
Whoa, is that a dead body? Hey, are you dead? She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. Well, it has a front and a back, a top ending and a bottom, a sea of truth and a web of lies. This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
Won't let Genocide Jack have control. Drive out the killer. Drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time.
Why would you tell Byakuya of all people this?
And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
Oh.
What?
You promised! I can't believe you lied!
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, You wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone.
Oh.
But in spite of that promise...
Sorry. Couldn't keep our promise. Don't worry. Never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that. But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it,
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person?
Oh.
You don't mean...
Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. Huge thud echoed across the courtroom. The next second...
Well, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see? What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's fault.
Wow.
So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
She... This is the murderous fiend Genocide Jack? This is beyond insane!
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you, I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid?
Monokuma's just like, no, I'm not associating with her.
And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless. I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town.
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
Makoto's just like,
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death.
Thank you for the 10 months, Jamie. So what? Oh yeah, Toko's actually a serial killer. She has a split personality. Isn't that fun?
There's clearly a motive,
Yeah.
so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours,
A wee bit
an
problematic,
embarrassing memory
yeah.
or secret would be revealed.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Oh?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said, I need to get some more details about all of this. Status of the dead body. Does she have a long tongue? Because she's a serial killer.
I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
Oh, that was the only statement? Okay, I guess that's the statement then. Focus on remembering Chihiro's body. That must have the answer. That should prove that what he said isn't quite right.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
No, it's wrong. Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How is it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't go? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using Ragu or Chef Boyardee.
Wow, just name dropping these companies. Do they know? Do they know that their names have been said by a serial killer?
This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
One clear difference between the murders. The photos from the other Genocide Jack cases, look at the neck and stomach. Here you'll see a clear difference.
I got it! For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Wow.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking? So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
Alright, the second difference is related to how she was suspended. The photos of the other genocide Jack cases, all the other victims were stabbed through their hands. Here you'll see a clear difference.
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
Lots of scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's 2 differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Let's see. There's a pattern surrounding the Genocide Jack victims, and Chihiro didn't fit it? You look at the names of every victim, what you'll notice is... I think I figured it out. No, Chihiro was a girl.
Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
They're all men.
They were all guys?
Yep.
That's right! The people I killed with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it.
Wow.
But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both
She's
noodles?
fucking creepy!
Don't be stupid.
She's... You know, yeah, she's creepy, but she's also kind of funny. But, yeah... I mean... You know...
I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line.
She's also
It's
very
the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly? Cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that? Da-da-da-da!
Oh, look! She has the scissors!
She's fully equipped! That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong, wrong. You can't, can you? Gutter dogs, all of you. Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah.
Taka's
That's
just
why we
like,
figured it had to
nope,
be the real
brain's
deal,
not
not some
working anymore,
copycat
I don't
killer
know
or
what's going
whatever.
on. Well, I mean, there is one other person that knew about the whole suspending the victims thing. Person who could have copied the genocide chat cases. They happened to know about it.
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then, the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
Yep.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
In case she couldn't get any creepier, here you go.
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious?
You've
Surely you
always
must
been
have an answer.
suspicious, sir.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
Locker rooms. Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. Wouldn't you agree? Huh? Suspicious. Seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
It's a clear contradiction in what Byakuya just said. Make it clear to everyone. Yeah. So we're going to add something called a truth flashback. Aim at a weak spot and hold down the Y button. You'll memorize that weak spot. Oh! Memorized phrase can only be shot once. This flashback features many times. You don't seem to have the answer to a lie or contradiction in your loaded truth bullets. It might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. It's the best time to flashback? Well, you just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case, though, I will say that if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Hold down the Y button.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
you absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
Wow.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
Yeah.
I wish you'd taken me with you.
Yeah, but how is he supposed to know that Chihiro was the one who was killed?
So, you said Byakuya was acting, but he was acting...
If you're presented with the opportunity to check...
That's a natural reaction!
The victim was Chihiro, who was... So, of course, I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first.
There was no time. What's so strong?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
What?
Shoot!
Wait, that wasn't it?
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
Did I do it the wrong
But
order?
he was acting weird... How?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls...
Shut up!
The victim was Chihiro.
Okay, I did it the wrong way around, apparently.
I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body,
Yeah.
we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
So it's Byakuya's attitude. It's like he doesn't even care. Got him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with him.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
Differences between this case and other Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that proves Byakuya is responsible is hidden in there? What could it be? Oh, okay. This should be it, too.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
God damn it!
Obviously,
Stupid
somebody
white
else
noise!
must have had it hidden away somewhere.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain? When I want to kill, and I use those same scissors.
But Chihiro, it was some kind of...
That's right!
Then there must be
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
Fuck,
Obviously,
I missed!
somebody else must have had it hidden away somewhere.
I'm terrible at this.
What? The difference? You want me to explain? When I want to kill, and I use those same scissors.
But Chihiro, it was some kind of...
That's right! Then there must be some...
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
There you go.
No, that's wrong. Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it.
I mean, that kind of is what everybody's saying.
Is that about right?
He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned. As if he's not even involved. Wait. Not even involved.
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime.
Wow.
Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath.
Like you missed something?
What about all that bothers you?
Wait. Is that just now? Something's not right. Chihiro's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room, but does that mean I really just accept what Byakuya said as the truth? No, I don't think so. There's something definitely off about what he said.
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
Yep.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Byakuya, did you just... I just take you off guard? The story suddenly moved to the crime scene. Byakuya, who had been so confident up till now. I think Byakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Hey, don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else. There's something that was switched between the boys' and girls' locker rooms.
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
Yep.
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange?
Big-boobed supermodel!
Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not that the stain was scrubbed away. It was moved. There it is.
The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think?
What?
In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the bloodstained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Is he right? Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook. She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
No, that's wrong! No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
Wow.
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup, yup, yup! Hit the nail square on the noggin!
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Psst! You can't fix an e-handbook! The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring!
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just... wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya!
Sometimes the most ridiculous answer is the one that's correct. Especially in terms of the fucking Ace Attorney series. That it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room and Byakuya's the one who did it? Really? Still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait! Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
Let's go! Before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. Headed off with Kyoko in the lead. Where she took us was...
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom! What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
Wanna check it again?
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully? Like using our hands?
No way, no way, no way, no way, no way!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura. What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about? That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura began to quietly examine her body. Stop screwing around!
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is
what?
Is a boy!
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
What?
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then... it's really true?
Chihiro was a guy?
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting. Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial. Ahem. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
I think that Chihiro was actually a guy. That had never even crossed my mind.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So it's not as bad as you think it is, Jamie. He's not actually trans. But this whole thing is a big deal of controversy within the fandom. I know that, but the fact of the matter is he's not actually trans. If it makes you feel any better, yeah, he's not actually trans. He was gonna reveal that he was a guy when he got stronger. That's what was going to happen.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion.
But yeah, the
victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room.
Yeah. Cross-dressing.
And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
There are people that tried to argue that Chihiro was trans, but it's made very clear that he's actually not.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
But I will say that this
is the most titillating situation!
Whole situation is not treated the best.
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
Ah, he's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
That's true. This game was released in 2010, and it's a Japanese game as well, so it is definitely very much a product of the times. That's something to remember as well. It doesn't make this a bad game, but it's just something to, you know, be mindful of.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery.
Yeah, some things just don't age. It's definitely dated, yeah.
The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder.
Yeah, Byakuya's not that stupid.
At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy. If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Wow.
Mark it as correct?
He's right.
He's one of those teachers where you have to show your work. If you just come up with the answer, then it's marked as wrong. You have to show your whole thought process for your answer to be right. He's one of those.
I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Well,
I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Biapia did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility. Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as
No,
a
you're
group
just
one
an
more
idiot.
time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
if Byakuya didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? One thing we can be sure that we know about the killer. The killer is able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means the killer's Genocide Jack, actually! Oh, there's a guy. It's a crime scene was the boys' locker room. You would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. That's still not enough. Need to find some more clues. What was Celeste's account? Oh, right.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough
Oh.
for now.
Yeah.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
Oh, is that not? Ah, fuck.
Shoot!
Oh, I have to look for a contradiction. Okay.
Isn't there a single clue? Well, did nobody get... I'm sure if someone saw the...
Perhaps someone saw the victim. Yeah. All we need right now is
It's over. It's all over.
All over!
You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the...
Ah, there it is.
No, that's wrong.
I should really look at the entire conversation before I go trigger happy.
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Better get going. Kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
Oh, what a marvelous friendship! The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say. But fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Jacket? I don't remember anything about the jacket.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was heading. He was on his way to go exercise.
Yeah.
So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Oh my
Did any of
god, he
that
just
really
gave
help
himself
us
away. I
getting
was like, what is
closer to
going on with the
figuring out who
tracksuits?
the
And then he
culprit
just
is?
gave himself away.
No way.
Did you see it,
Not a
Jamie?
chance.
You heard him, right? What he just
What he
said
just
without
said
even
without even
realizing it?
realizing it? How did he know something like
First
that?
of all, we know where Chihiro was heading.
He was on his way, so next bit, why did he choose?
What do you mean, the specific...
I got it! It matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
Oh, wait. Did I not do that correctly?
Shoot!
Is it Celeste's
First of all,
account
we
that I
know
need
where
to shoot?
he was on his way, so next bit, why did he choose?
What do you mean, the...
I got it! It matched the one the culprit...
So, what the killer was wearing the same blue
There it goes. Okay.
No, that's wrong. Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
What did you just say, sir?
What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
I assume he headed off to exercise. She didn't mention
She
the
never said
color.
anything about the jacket's color.
She didn't say the color of the jacket.
So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you... You just...
Hey, Celeste.
Oh no,
what
indeed.
color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you
How
know
did
what
you
color
know what
Chihiro's
color
tracksuit
Chihiro's
was?
tracksuit was?
Because I just...
I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility!
Cherry?
Are you talking about Chihiro? So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. Just like that, she was gone.
when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Oh!
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
Oh!
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
Because I hate him! Wait, I think... Oh wait, he talked. Yeah.
There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For
Yeah.
girls, it's chick.
And... he definitely referred to Chihiro as a dude.
And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You noticed such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth.
Imagine being called frightful by a serial killer!
What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah, he would never do something like that. This is a false accusation.
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come. That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Wow.
Jeez, did your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then...
Here it is.
Hmm? What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
Found it on the ground, right? Then it must be mine! No. Chihiro.
A gun! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How, precisely, did the handbooks get broken?
Handbook break? There's only one possible explanation.
A gun! You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah! You remember that?
Yes!
Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession, then
we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already! Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
Oh.
I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
Oh!
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed.
How would they know that the
Quite the
sauna would
mystery.
have broken it?
What if they found out by accident?
Yes. Streamlabs is very nice.
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but Who would have done something like that?
Let me guess, probably the two guys that had the frickin' sauna competition thing?
I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Whoa! Seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Might have brought their handbook into the sauna. And to be the one who wore all their clothes into the sauna. Sorry, buddy.
Here's my answer. Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Sorry, Taka.
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on.
Yeah, for some crazy-ass reason.
But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but... Found something that proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt. We have?
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Chip!
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Both
well,
Mondo
my goddamn handbook works just fine!
Fucking... white noise.
See? Makoto was wrong. Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Mondo and Taka both, like, got into a large argument and then went into the sauna and stayed there, like, all night.
Let's test Makoto's assertion.
If what he says you broke your own, in other words, if Mondo, then that proves that...
Well, my goddamn handbook works just...
No, it's wrong! Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall. Isn't that one actually yours?
Oh.
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
Maybe I was jumping the gun a little bit with some of the handbook situation.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's. Which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
We just said that it's fine if it's a dead
here's
person.
How I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such,
always
I
Leon's
decree
fault.
that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, If I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch!
Oh.
What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong!
Can I pause? Yes, I can pause! I can pause and do a BRB! Right in the middle of the class trial. I'll be back in a few minutes!